Hello there. Thanks for watching News Echoes, where we give you African news and analysis for the global audience. And we're very grateful to all our viewers, especially in Europe, America, South America, Australia, New Zealand, far away, even from Africa. And we are looking at your reports. Some of you are so excited. Particularly in Russia as well. So we are recognizing you and appreciating you. And please keep watching and let's have your feedback. I'm so glad to be here. My name is Sabo Junction, and I have far away Toronto, Canada, where temperature is -2. Sir George Chiku, you're welcome to the program.
Good morning, viewers from around the world. Welcome to our show today.
The lady among the gentlemen, Sister Bidi Nana, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you, Dr. Shedi. Good morning, our viewers. Good to have you here today. Let's do it like always.
We have so many questions for you. You received President Buhari in Lagos. We'll be asking you more about that. The ambassador in our midst in the East Center of London, Ambassador Nat Yako, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much and good morning, everybody.
Yes, sir. Good to see you. And our brother in Milan, Massive Mark in Milan, you're welcome to the program.
Good morning, Dr. Shagun. Good morning, everybody. Ambassador Nat, it's good to see you. Sir George, Dr. Sita, and Bidi. Thank you.
Good to have you here.
You just mentioned Dr. Sita before me. Dr. Sita Anyemeka in Abuja, the seat of power. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. I'm glad to be here.
All right, let's fire on. Bidi, the first question comes to you. I told you, you have the audacity to receive our president in Lagos. He came to commission the rice mill in Imota. Then he went to commission the Lekki deep sea port. And did he commission the Dangote refinery as well?
Yeah, he was there. It was a wonderful event in Lagos, Nigeria. 2 days. It started with the traffic, like always, whenever the president comes to.
Tell us more. They said all of you were asked to sit at home.
Exactly. It's a normal thing. It's not a new thing. It's a normal thing. We're asked to sit at home. Road was blocked. People suffered. It was not easy. That 2 days, a lot of people felt it, and people were not happy. They were not happy. But when you remember what he said is Festival of Projects Commissioning, at least you'll be a little bit relieved. The Lekki deep sea ports, the Amata rice farm, the Ilemeko pavement projects, so many of them. It was an awesome event that happened during the president's 2 days visit.
Okay, we still have one more question for you. The blue rail line, he had to commission it again. Why do we commission one thing again and again? I thought Governor Sanwo-Olu had commissioned it. So when I was questioning my friends in Lagos 2 days ago, they said, no. Governor Sanwo-Olu had a test run, which is different from commissioning. And I said, you can't put a governor to do a test run because you are jeopardizing his life. Test run means that only experts should be in there and you can't afford to jeopardize the government. But then in Nigeria, you commission one thing again and again. Is the metro, is the light rail line working now? Can I go to Lagos and use it now?
But before I answer this question, you should understand and know who our president is. President Buhari is known with commissioning uncompleted projects. So it's not a new thing. So the red line is not working, but it has been commissioned. So it's not a new thing with President Buhari. He's known with commissioning uncompleted projects. The red line is not working. Probably we will start working tomorrow. But as of the day it was commissioned or test run by governor and commissioned by president, it's not working. as of
Okay,
then.
okay. I want to go to other people, but I still have one more question for you. When
Is that
President
right?
Buhari was in Lagos, all the trucks, all the tankers, they were off the bridge. The roads were tarred. They were everything looked very cool in Lagos. Information reaching my base says Lagos was the best place to drive. Why? Why can't they maintain that?
It shows you one thing, that whatever thing Nigerians are doing is deliberate. Yes, anytime President Buhari wants to come to Nigeria or come to Lagos, within few hours or a day, all the tankers will be off the road will be tight, everything will work perfectly well. Now the question is this: if we can get these things right within a day, just because the president is coming to Lagos, why can't it be permanent? It shows you that Nigerian politicians or Nigerian leaders are doing whatever thing they're doing to Nigerian populace deliberately.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Sir George, how beneficial is all this commissioning? I mean, a rice mill, the president had to come from Abuja to come and commission it. Is that beneficial? How much did Lagos State spend in dollars to receive the president for 2 days?
They don't care. That's part of politics. I mean, look at it. In a few days, there's going to be election. So what is it that can make them look so good? If they start commissioning or recommissioning the commissioned project.
Recommissioning the recommissioned projects.
That's it. So it makes them look very good, and it showcases that, well, we've been doing a fantastic job. So if I commission a project that is not completed, it makes me look good. But what that does within the people like Bidi, who is in Lagos now, it leaves a bad taste in her mouth, because it's nothing but eye service. It does not, make them feel good. Okay, you're commissioning something that is not working. What essence? What does it do? Okay, it looks good internationally. It looks good from the east or other parts of
for 40 opportunities.
But what it does is this: it makes you feel like, okay, this failed government, or maybe they have something that they have actually done. So that's all it is. Is a showcase, political showcase. That's all it is.
Thank you very much, Sir George. Ambassador Nat, I observed seriously that Tinubu was not featuring, or was it that I just didn't get it? Tinubu was not there, and that's his backyard. How could they be commissioning great things in his backyard and he's not the one receiving the president? Or is it the pictures before me?
But as we speak now, Tinubu is not occupying an official function in Lagos or in Nigeria. It's just a candidate of the APC. But an extension to what Bidi said, Nigerians have no shame, especially Buhari himself. Remember the military regime, Adija Kande also, they awarded contract for this thing Buhari is doing 50 years afterwards. So, and they
That's correct. I understand what you're saying.
himself, why negotiations.
Absolutely. When you recall that in 1984,
this is shut down, you quantify the loss. Yeah.
For the sake of our viewers, Jakonde started this program many years ago, and it was supposed to be a metro. It was supposed to be underground. It will cost $300 million. The Lagos State government made a down payment of $70 million. Unfortunately, December 31st, 1983, Buhari Junta and his group, they came and they scrapped it in 1984, claiming that the federal government could no longer back Lagos State with $230 million. Now it has cost $1.5 billion to make a light rail. And that is the kind of military sense that they had used. Actually, further analysis shows that they had to stop it because they will not have any justification for bringing in a coup. Why did you, if you are going to continue the policies of the old civilian regime, the Second Republic, why would you need to come in? It was an error on the part of Buhari and his junta, and that has cost us an extra $1.5 billion with all the hardships. Lagos will be the only city over 15 million without a metro in the whole world, and that's why we experience such a thing, and which leads to health challenges. But let me ask Dr. Osita in Abuja, has this commission to what extent will it help us? We want to look at positive sides, if possible. The Dangote refinery, the light rail, and will the light rail work now? Is Dr. Osita still hearing?
No, he's not, sir.
It's not. Okay, then Mark, to what extent will this help?
Dr. Shagun, it's a very interesting thing. Now, what I noticed in all of this was there was a press release by the president media man, Adesina, and he attributed all of this effort to Tinubu. So this became like a campaign corridor for Tinubu for them to hype Tinubu, the APC presidential candidate. So they are now saying that all of this is his plan, his dream, and it has now been actualized. But like you said, this was an old plan for Lagos since the 70s. I remember growing up in Lagos, there was this has always been the plan to have a metro line. But somehow, yes, Sanwo-Olu has accomplished it. So we saw that whole thing.
Can you sincerely say, and I will also ask BD the same question, can you sincerely say this morning and every day that light blue rail the blue light rail will be working?
Well, that's what they say. We are following.
BD, are you going to take that rail line?
Dr. Shegun, I will, but not immediately. I will allow some people to test run it before I will join the queue. I will not be the first set among the first set. It will certainly work, but when will it start working is what we don't know. So this one they are doing yet is the aggrandizement. You understand? Trying to shop like Dr. Sajoj said, they attributed everything to Tinubu. I see this thing as a campaign strategy for Tinubu. You know, the party is using this platform to show Nigerians that we've done this. You know, if you listen to their campaign jingle, it's been that Tinubu has done a lot in Lagos. He built Lagos. He made Lagos what it is today. If he can do that to a city like Lagos, they're doing it across the 36 states in Nigeria, it's nothing. So I think this is a strategy for campaigning for Tinubu. That's what I see. But when will it work? We don't know, but it will certainly work.
Thank you. Where is I was looking for? Yes, Ambassador. All of these attributions to Tinubu, to what extent are they right? I don't want to make any judgment, but I know people like Mobolaji Johnson. We are not relatives. He did his own, and Jakonde, obviously, and some other military governors. But all of these things they are attributing to Tinubu. To what extent will you agree with them?
Well, the outstanding men of integrity and transparency who beg us are late Papa Jakande. He built modern Lagos, but again, what is his name? Tinubu is coming right to misappropriate that thing. What will you say of Marwa, the military administrator? So, I mean, when we talk of building Lagos, Tinubu is far behind the queue. And but when it comes, and again, let's not forget, how can Sanwo-Olu be launching only one? How many coaches? One or two? Is that all? Yes? I mean, is that all the fanfare for? And then if you look at the travel time, the intervals before the next, it's going to take another year or two. Sanwo-Olu may not be there, and the timing, it should take something like 15 minutes for you to wait for the metro line, the next train to arrive. Here is 2 minutes, 3 minutes, the next train is coming.
Well, maybe we will just have to wait for perfection. Sir George, let's talk about the people and how their psyche is so has been run down. Now people are shouting, "Yeah, Lagos State has done it." Honestly, personally, I'm not excited. Nigerians get excited over little things. This thing has not been tested. We've seen the latest trains in Nigeria jamming. Making accidents and all the rest, but the psyche of the people, they are easily satisfied. What?
When you have a child growing up in the desert, there is no water, no food, and then all of a sudden you're promising them that there's going to be a little food, and then a tanker brings a little water and passes by. Oh, that tanker is going to stop next time. It's going to bring us water. The little child will get excited. Think about it for a moment, because they have nothing to compare with. And even the ignoramuses that are traveling abroad and seeing all these things, they come back and and then when money is given put in their coffers to build these infrastructures, the money, by the time it gets down to to doing what it's supposed to do, almost 80% of the money has already disappeared.
Yeah.
No accountability, no responsibility, no checks and balances. Nobody says anything. You catch them today, and then they make a little noise. In 2 weeks, it's all disappeared. Nobody says, what happened to that case last week? That man that stole our money, who did not complete the project? Nobody is saying anything. That is the type of country.
Yeah, how did we go down? Let me ask Dr. Sita. Dr. Sita, I was just trying to check the psyche of our people. Little things excite them, and they magnify it as if it is very big. Opening a rice mill by the president is a big deal. I recall many years ago, my mother read in England, of course, returned to Nigeria, and she was a supporter of a particular political party. And anytime she said, "Look at what they've done," I said, "Mom, that's little. What is it?" And Mom will always say, "Give them credit. At least it's something. But this something is so small. And why do little things excite?" Even my mom, I was arguing with her. He said, "Is that what I sent you to university, to read political science, to be criticizing this little share?" I said, "No, it's nothing. This is nothing." Why are we so easily satisfied with little things, Dr. Osita?
We are content with low levels of consumption. That's our greatest misery. My cousin's house, we went there for lunch, and there was NEPA. 30 minutes into lunch, NEPA took light and we started sweating. You know what his friend said? Leave them now, then they try. And my cousin asked him to stand up and leave his house.
What?
And we're sweating. It's our mindset of.
I think we lost him there.
Oh, I wish to hear his voice. I wish to hear his reasoning. Our mindset is so little. I mean, let's talk about ourselves. And okay, let me just give everybody 30 seconds each. I know you've spoken on it. Starting from BD. Why do we love? Anytime I come to Lagos and I say, "Look, the place is too dirty, dingy. Why can't Ikeja? Look at Ikeja, and this is supposed to be the capital." They say, "We are trying. They are trying." Why? Why are we so easily satisfied? BD. Unmute yourself.
It's okay.
Yes.
Is that okay? Can you?
Yeah, it's okay now.
Like Dr. Costa said, that is a mindset thing. I totally agree. Now in Nigeria, whatever that is happening in Nigeria is a deliberate act. Our leaders, our politicians, they deliberately kept us in poverty and impoverishing us deliberately. Look at what happens in Lagos whenever Buhari is coming. It takes them a day to clear Lagos, and Lagos will be like, say, is this the same Lagos we live in? So they've kept us in poverty, so that when they do a little thing for us, to like, have they
You
done it?
magnify it.
Yes, Nigerian citizens don't even know that our politicians are our workers. They don't know. That's why they will build a road. You applaud them. I was like, did they build this road with their money? They built it with their money, and that is what we employ them to do. And when you say like, the people were like, you don't know what you're saying, you are an ingrate.
Thank you, Biddy. Mark in Milan, 30 seconds, please. I have to change this topic, but why are we easily satisfied?
Yes, they've all said it, Dr. Shagun. They've not seen much in life, and the little they see gets us so excited. But also, is the mindset, how the politicians have played on the mindset of Nigerians. They've made us to live below mediocrity and accept the tiny bits they offer to us. So it's a mind game.
Ambassador Nat, why do we accept small things in the north as well? In the north, the people don't complain.
Well, the big thing is our level of leisure. And apart from some of them who have television sets and see movies or see CNN, watch outside world, they have not traveled out. They don't know what is going on outside. They have in Nigeria that happy. The man in Daura we think Lagos is paradise.
Okay, that's your 30 seconds because I'm moving. Sir George, finally on you. Please, can you talk to our people that there are other better places and we can do things better and we can be better than the other developed country? Look at Dubai. They've done things that we are proud of them.
Look at Nigerians. They're flooding Dubai. Look at all our rich people. When they steal our money, where do they go? Dubai. Dubai does not produce oil. Dubai was a desert land, but these people have put it together in such a way that it becomes one of the most attractive tourist attractions, around the world. That's the problem that we have in our own country. The problem we have in our own country, they have reduced our mentality and our belief system. That little things, get us so excited because they have done nothing. They have done, and whenever you bring somebody who is going to do something, they will make sure that they put that person down until they destroy the individual. Look at us today. We are getting excited about Lagos. We are putting everything that has happened in the past how many years. Lagos was already built as a capital of Nigeria to begin with. That was a capital of Nigeria before they moved it to Abuja. So now, maintaining the places where, the way it is, and you look at the development that is taking place in Lagos, who are the people that are building it? Who are the people that are, making that place to be a robust city to live in? No credit is given to them, but they're giving credit to a man that pees on his pants. I don't know how we're going to do that. Is this
okay?
How it's going to govern?
Let me use the occasion to welcome Dr. Ibe from Moscow in Russia. Dr. Ibe, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are. And I will just use this occasion to move on because we could spend 5 hours on that topic. I mean, while we look at the government, we need to look at the people. Why it's so easy to please us, so easy to please Nigerians that they don't. I have one viewer who wrote to me directly because of access. He says, we Nigerians, we are content with what we have. Little be it or not, it's like we are contented, we are happy with little. Dr. Ebe, but I'm grieved with this. Why are we so happy with little? Lagos that they mentioned, I am from Lagos. Most of the roads are poor. They are dirty. They believe that they are cleaning. They are trying, but if I should rank them, I would give them 2 out of 10. Yet they believe the place is a paradise. What do you say? Why are we so satisfied with little?
There's a popular saying that a one-eyed man is a king in the land of the blind. So I do not blame people who are not exposed, who have such a mindset and are easy to please, because for them it's a matter of survival. We have over 40% in extreme poverty, and I like to highlight it because it's not poverty but extreme poverty. It means that to get something to eat is a gamble. It's a gamble because you're not sure, basically. So for these people, uh, jumping around for the next meal, I can understand them. The people I do not understand is the middle class, and possibly the um those in diaspora who
I
are
believe
clamoring for
they have
mediocrity.
held the middle class by the jugular. If you complain, we will go and stop the source of your money. If you have no contract, we will take your CFO and everything. So they keep quiet.
Yes, of course, of course. It's also possible to, harass the middle class. At least, they should be able, in behind, no, I'm not saying in public, they must go in public and
Yeah, to
denounce,
go
but,
and
when you
influence
talk to
behind.
them,
Yeah.
yeah, but behind, you can see some of them very, really, very happy with mediocrity, very happy with very little. And those are the people who I really am concerned about. But you like I think Sir George was saying, you probably will be surprised that in a few years someone will take achievement for the new naira notes, and and be celebrating it all around. So yeah,
and
it's
those
just it's just
sycophants, they are only receiving crumbs. The sycophants are not receiving a lot of money. I can assure you, they are receiving crumbs.
exactly,
Anyway,
exactly, exactly,
hmm,
exactly,
well, we
and
have
that's
this
just it.
story
So
that
that's why. Mhm.
the international community is afraid for the security of Nigeria. Alerts have been made by the government of the United States, the government of the United Kingdom, and the Australian, and of course the EU has made its own statement saying that they are not confident about the security. Let me start with Ambassador Nat. I know you know a lot about security in Nigeria. What is the situation? Do you think this election will hold with these kind of alerts we are having? Ambassador Nat. Well, it
Well,
looks like
the INEC national chairman, Professor Mahmoud,
mm,
came out some few weeks ago and said he's afraid whether the elections will hold. Then one day after
mm,
that, he said, "Oh, he's okay." Our big concern now should be: do we have adequate security for February 25, 2023 and March 10, 2023? Because our problem has always been how do we manage our security, especially on election day and then when the election results are declared. We don't have security in Nigeria. The security we have in Nigeria is manned by non-state actors, warlords, local warlords who have taken over the place. And so our real concern
vigilantes.
should be, yeah, our
Mm.
real concern should be number one, security between now and February 5th, March 10. Will
Sir,
our
sir,
security outfit be able to stand their ground when it
Sir
comes
George,
to people
thank
reacting
you,
to the
Ambassador Nat.
result,
I'm just
people reacting
mindful
if
of the
it
time.
doesn't win?
Sir George, do you think the Southeast will be cool enough for this election, if cool is the right word?
Well, I hope so. That's all I can say because considering what is going on, you know, when we consider what has already happened, sometimes when these international countries, like in October of last year, you know, United States of America, UK, and a few other developed countries started worrying about the security. And some Nigerians will say, "Oh, why are you guys always talking about our country? What about your country?" But these people, because they have security apparatus in Nigeria and they know what is going on, they
Mm.
listen and they hear some of the threats and everything that is going on. A few months ago, we were talking about what was going on about when UK was saying that Nigeria would divide in 2015 if the election did not go right, or if literally that threat came from the north. that if the presidency does not come back to them, they will destroy the whole nation. They will tear it apart. And that's what they heard, and they brought that information. So now, all of a sudden, after last year in October, in America and UK, they're warning their people, don't go to Nigeria, be careful, those that are there. Now, Australia now jumps into the bandwagon. These people they know what they are hearing, and they know the threats that are going on, which they don't want the public to panic. And that's the key there. They don't want that's why, the INEC chairman will come and say one day, well, we don't think because of the threats of, insecurity, we might not have that. The next day, they told him, you better go and change that statement.
All right, thank you very much. I know that we have to go on break right now, and I don't know if Mark wants to say something about Simon Ekpe versus Ohaneze. Is that, or do you think we can go on break and return to it?
Okay, let's go on break and return to it, sir.
Thank you. We'll be right back. We'll go on a short break and we'll return to security in Nigeria.
NIGERIAN Story magazine is an African international bi-monthly magazine based in Milan, Italy, and founded in 2016. The publication focuses on personalities, fashion, style, entrepreneurship, and culture for Africans. Though articles on food, movies, fitness, music, travel, sports, technology, and books are also featured. Our lives full of best stories. A lot can happen in a month. Expand your mind, change your world. Get NIGERIAN Story magazine's full editions. Celebrating Africans make an impact. Read better. The Inside Story. Your fashion magazine for a better lifestyle. Inspiring stories for you. Your monthly dose of entertainment.
Changing your mindset.
Thanks for staying with us. We were talking about insecurity in Nigeria and whether it's going to affect the election. Ohaneze has released a report about one Simon Ekpe. I think Mark in Milan has the story. Mark, what's the story about?
Yes, Doc. The young man you see there is called Simon Ekpe. And this morning, the Ohaneze Ndi Igbo is an apex social cultural organization in Igbo land, that's southeast Nigeria. The Ohaneze Ndi Igbo worldwide has urged the Simon Ekpe, the man we all see there, to return the alleged $1 million he collected from a particular paymaster to tarnish the chances of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, in the presidential election 2023. According to Ohaneze Ndi Igbo, Ekpe, they said, will be hunted across the world if he doesn't pay for the atrocities he has committed against the Southeast geopolitical zone. They further observed that the leader of the group, that Simon Ekpe, is acting on a script by some people that are opposed to Nigeria having an southeastern Igbo president extraction. So this announcement was given to us as a media house by the Secretary General of Ohaneze Ndi Igbo worldwide. That's Comrade Okechukwu. He said this also yesterday in so many media outlets. So this is the information we have, sir.
Okay, we will be following these story as the break so that we'll bring you the latest of it. Security is very important, and whatever comes out of this, we will be letting you know. Still talking about the election, the coming election, February 25 and March 11, the Senate voted against what is known as BVAS. BVAS means Bimodal Voter Accreditation. It will be it will not be the first time, but this kind of accreditation takes your fingerprint and your face, and if they match, you vote. If they don't match, you don't vote. And the senators have said that you must create another manual because it may fail, and if it fails, you will disenfranchise the voters, especially in a country like Nigeria. The last time they used it in Anambra State election that brought Soludo to the governor's house, the INEC officials had to travel to go and download the BVAS app somewhere and then return to their polling booth. So it's as serious as that. Senate said, no, we cannot vote for this one. But some people said, why are you afraid? We want the Bimodal 2 accreditation. Sir George, who is afraid of BVAS accreditation?
Well, I mean, if you look at the people that are voting against this, the reason they're giving is almost legitimate. Because if you think about it, I was an observer for the election in the last the 2 elections when I was in Nigeria. I was an observer, but in the polling station where I was, by 1 p.m. in the afternoon, they have not even brought any equipment in that place. It was intentional, delayed, and by the time they received it, it took almost 2.5 hours to even get the machine to work before people could vote. A lot of people got tired and went home. Some people got tired and went back to work and came back again. And and these are the little things that happen in our own country. Dysfunctional nation. But the point is, finally, we have gotten something that could allow this thing to happen so that when they do vote and it is correctly voted, they can transmit that result immediately to the INEC center. What they are afraid of is this will not prevent them from being able to rig the election. And that's why most of them are afraid that, if care is not taken, the government will go the other way. So that's why I believe that even the senators themselves that are, trying to vote, if you go back and check and see, it is the current people that are ruling who are actually voting against it by,
Yes,
it is them that are voting.
APC senators.
That's right.
Ambassador Nat, I don't know much about algorithm, but they said this algorithm is everything. The American ambassador in Nigeria said it's got the portal to be following, but this algorithm could be tampered with, that people who INEC officials may not like their face, they vote for you, but it's not registering. So everybody is a bit afraid. Or what do you think?
Actually, it is the APC that don't want this beaver. Remember, some 1 month or so back, Abla Adamu, the national chairman of APC, said the APC wasn't interested in the beaver identification and verification machine. And APC have the majority in the National Assembly, and once the beavers don't work, then you have a free market to rig. In those days, it used to be an alternative from A. But
we're having problems with your.
Some people don't transfer to election because they know they won't win.
Okay. Thank you. Bidi, how will you react in Lagos if certain areas, their beavers are not working? Certain areas in Festac, in Ojo, in Ajegunle, where there are many southeastern people. How will you react? But is working in Isaleko, their beavers is working in Ojo, but not in Ajegunle and Festac. How do you think Lagosians will react?
This area you mentioned, where they have a lot of non-indigenous Igbos,
yes,
to be precise, it's been happening. You find out that a lot of people will be disenfranchised in those areas. But before I go on this question, I want to answer your question. You said, who is afraid of beaver? It's obvious. People who are used to winning elections with snatching of ballot boxes, causing problems, they are the people who are afraid of beavers. And when you look at it, who are there? They are the ruling party, APC. If you do a free and fair election in Nigeria, most elections APC has been winning. They will not win it. Sorry, I might say it like this. Now you ask me if beavers did not work in some certain areas in Lagos, and it's been a culture in Lagos. And that is why a lot of people, even till now in Lagos, I met some people, they say they are not coming out. I'm telling you, because if they can experience what they experienced when Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not in a ballot box, let alone now Bola Ahmed Tinubu is in a ballot box, just assume what will happen in Lagos. As of now, a lot of Lagosians are still telling you that they will not come out, more especially aged people, that they will not come out because they know beavers will not work in certain areas. And the question I've kept asking people is this: even with these beavers, you use your facial expression, you use your finger, and they are still buying voters' card. They are buying it. Now I keep asking: is it that these people lack knowledge of what beavers does, or that is there anything they are doing that Nigerians don't know? The obvious beavers will not work in some certain area, like you mentioned, Ojo, Okota, Festag. It will not work. That one is obvious. It will not work. Even if it will work,
okay.
we have Lagos where you see the touts standing very close to ballot box, monitoring and telling people who they vote to. Yes, it has happened in Lagos State, and it might happen again.
Dr. Ibe, do you have reservations about these beavers? I mean, truly, we don't have electricity all over Nigeria. Truly, there are no connectivity all over Nigeria. Truly, there are some challenges of these beavers on its own. Talk less of human error, human bribery, and all the rest. Where is the balance in this beavers thing? We all want beavers if it will work. And if some people want to scuttle it, can the people say, no, we want the beavers? Dr. Ibe?
Okay, let me give another analogy. Imagine a room is dark and we all come into the room and then we start to say, oh, this room is dark. Why is it dark? How could you leave it dark? It's so dark. So let's just all jump from the window. It's dark. It's dark. It's dark.
Go on, Godwin.
But the switch is there. What have you offered as a solution? There are problems with beavers. If there is sincerity, you'll be talking about how to deal with the problems and how to make beavers work effectively. This will be the topic of conversation, not destroying the beavers. If there's sincerity in the conversation, the point is that there is no sincerity. And the evidence for this, as BD said, is that it's the ruling class that is mostly against. Out of the over 90 people who voted against the beavers, as I read, only less than 10% of them is PDP. The rest are APC. So it is clear that they are not offering solution, and at the same time, it's the ruling class. So we can only just pray that while we exercise our voting right, the ruling class allows democracy to have its way and let the people get their votes or their wishes or whoever they want to lead them. So I think that I have no reservation. It's just that there are real issues and the issues need to be tackled rather than going back in time,
Massive Mark, you want to say something? 30 seconds.
Yes, they've said it all.
That was very good.
Yes, yeah, that was very good, Dr. Ibe. One thing is, I don't know how it will work in the rural area. Nigeria is not about Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt and Kano. Nigeria also has Borno. Nigeria has Jigawa, Taraba. Nigeria has Calabar, and all these very dark, deep places. So, and electricity is what works with Beaver. Network, internet is the thing. All of these amenities together doesn't function well in Nigeria. So this is my own, our own view to it.
Oh, sorry, Mark, what do you think should be the reaction of the masses? Don't the masses have voice to say, look, something? Don't the masses have voice? Help me, somebody.
The masses have voice, but they've somehow made the voice of the masses silent. You know, when they are talking, it's like somebody just making that expression, but it's not making that sound. So you see them going.
Bidi is raising up her hand. Bidi, do you have voice to say we want the BVAS or we support these APC senators? We don't want the BVAS. Do you have voice there?
Nigerians don't have voice. The voices of Nigerians has been shrinked. They don't. I'm telling you.
Sir George, so we just have to follow whatever they do.
Nigerians are speaking.
Sir George,
but will they listen? They're speaking. But are they listening? That's the question.
The problem is, look at what happened in NSAS. They do have voices, but the problem is they have been brought to a place where their voices are muted and they have threatened them because you don't know what is going to happen when you start speaking up in Nigeria. Because on your way to work, on your way back from work, you know, or while you're sleeping, something could happen.
Your tire may fail.
Look at this young man in Imo State who discovered what, our governor, the corruption that was taking place where they're registering all kinds of names from Jamaica, from Timbuktu, and everything. What happened to him? You know, he spoke and all of a sudden they brought down his house, destroyed his cars. I don't even know. I believe that he might be in hiding right now. So these are the type of people that we are dealing with in Nigeria. So people have voices. They sit down and they bear power. They sit down at their work and talk about all this, but they're afraid to come out and say something. You know, they have to understand education is the key. For the very first time in Nigerian election, the masses are being educated about their rights. And the ruling class is unhappy. Because when people understand the fundamental human rights that they have as Nigerians, you will see them rise up and say, thus far, no further. But it is not happening because everybody's afraid.
You know what has compounded the Nigerian democracy is the lack of opposition. The opposition parties are not shouting enough. Unlike other places, Ambassador Nat, in 10 seconds, who silenced the voice of the opposition? Who is supposed to be giving us alternatives to the present activities of this government?
It's the stomach infrastructure now.
That's it. That's it.
If you don't have anything to chop, you can't make noise. And so the level of ignorance and illiteracy within the Nigerian context as a country have been used by the elites, the politicians, the people, the creme de la creme of the society, have silenced all other people.
I believe that this issue of BVAS that the APC senators voted against should have been up front now with everybody discussing and shouting, those in favor, those against. It should have occupied every inch of the newspaper. But it's like it's passing away. Nobody's talking about it. Well, we have to move on because Bidi is 7 days. Sorry, I changed that one. It's 6 days to the expiry of the old currency. The new currency is hard to get. CBN says the problem is with the commercial banks. Commercial banks say they don't have enough. Now it's 6 days. Senate just yesterday said it should be the expiry date should be pushed down to the 31st of July. Biddy, how much do you have in your pocket? I'm just joking. Do you have the new naira to give all of us? Biddy, come on, tell us. What will you do in 6 days' time? How much is still in your sewage somewhere, Biddy?
Dr. Shegu, because I saw that this will be part of what we'll be discussing this morning, I actually went to the ATM this morning to make a withdrawal. I still withdraw old notes.
That's not fair. That's just not fair.
As of yesterday, the people who went to the bank to make a withdrawal, we've told people, if you go to ATM and it pays you old notes, enter into that bank and give it back to them. Do you understand? That is what we told Nigeria, because the ATM as of today is still paying old notes. And when you go into the bank, they will tell you the least they can give you of naira notes, of new naira notes, is 40,000 naira. Now, I've seen people go to bank with 200,000, with 100,000, with 500, and they are giving them 40,000 naira. Now, I don't understand what happens. Are they going to let go the remaining 160,000? I don't understand. Now, the rest is coming.
Okay, Biddy, I'm just mindful of the time. Dr. Ibe in Moscow, how do we tackle such a problem? Can't somebody tell the president, because Emefiele cannot act without the presidency? Can't somebody tell them? The arguments I've had about this thing is that it has stopped those who stuffed money in their house. It has stopped them. They can't bring the money out. But that argument does not work for rural Nigerians. Dr. Ebe, what are we to tell them, the government and the people? Do you still have any of your stories?
And I think in our previous session, I made it clear what I expected, that it will be extended, but it will be announced. I mean, I said if it was me, it will be extended, but it will be announced in the last week or in the last few days, to put the pressure, to keep the pressure up on Nigerians. Of course, I understand instability. Business doesn't like unpredictability. It's not good for business. It's not good for transactions. But also considering how Nigerians, we sometimes drag our feet on some topics, it might have been necessary. But the preparation, that doesn't mean that preparation shouldn't be made in terms of giving the banks enough. It is clear that it needs to be extended. That is for sure.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Ebe. It's just because of the time, because I know you have a lot to say. Sir George, is this how to run a country? If we're going to extend it, why can't we extend it yesterday? Why wait till the 30th?
Listen to me. The money has been released. Bankers and bank managers are becoming billionaires overnight. You guys are not paying attention to what is going on. The central bank already released the money to the banks. The banks are taking the money out through the back door, not through the front door. You come, they give you 40,000 only. And let me tell you something. There are people already going to these bank managers who promise them billions of naira. If I bring you $1 billion naira, I want you to take 200 million. And they're moving the money back. That's what's happening that people don't understand. This is exactly the secret of what's going on. And this thing is a plan that has already been put together. Immediately it started. Just imagine if you're in Nigeria and you have stored almost 10 billion naira in your downstairs. What are you going to do? You are going to go to your manager and tell them, listen, when that money comes to them, they will limit what they give to the customers through the right channel. But they are exchanging that money through the back doors. These people are becoming billionaires overnight.
Mark in Milan. This kind of thing happened in 1984 when they changed currency, and 53 suitcases came out of the airport and went and could not be touched. And it was said to be, is this what like Sir George has said, is this what is happening again?
That I was going to say what George said before, but we're one. And the wise man says, confirmation of another word, every word is established. So that's what is happening, Dr. Shegun. The banks are bankrolling on this. Some individuals are gaining out of all this, but the ordinary masses citizen sadly are not getting it. So that's why Omefelo can still say this law will stay. I mean, it's nobody's
Ambassador Nance, look into that crystal ball. Look into that crystal ball. What will happen in 6 days' time? If the cashless society is not working, people in rural areas don't have telephone or banking facilities, the new naira has not been circulated, what is going to happen? Or we're going to be spending 2 legal tenders, whether you like it or not. Ambassador.
His network phrased again.
Is your country, Ambassador. Well, we just have to move on because Ambassador's connectivity is challenged, and I really don't know. Does anybody want to answer that question?
Are you hearing
just
me?
Anybody? Two legal tenders come 1st of February.
That is what will happen, Dr. Shegun, because some people don't have this money. Okay. A lot of people have not even seen it. Some people don't even agree to it.
What I was going to say, if
go on, Ambassador.
So, what will happen is on 6 days from now, Nigerians might be spending 2 different type of legal tender. And,
it will be a sad situation. That's why our country is not developed. In a short, well, let's just move to the last story of the day. The present National Assembly has been trying to review the Constitution and adjust it, whatever word they use, amend it, and the result from 27 state assemblies came in to say that they frown against independence of the local government. 9 other states have been awaited, and one will wonder why local governments have not been permitted in our system to have their autonomy. Sir George, you want to tackle it in 1 minute? I want to give everybody, because this is the essence of democracy. Sir George.
Well, what you have to understand, we're still under a pseudo-military governing system. That's what it is. You know, we've been handed democracy in Nigeria, but we don't know what the people that handed it to us, you know, are trying to educate us on how to do it, but we don't. So we should take our own system, put it with the democracy, and jumble it together and do what we want. That's exactly what it is. And that's what Nigeria is. Even in what you're talking about right now, when you go to the north or certain parts of Nigeria, you see the system working quite differently from another place. So that's right. I mean, that's what it is. So it's such a sad state.
Dr. Ebe, do you agree with Sir George? We just operate on different levels of country. The country, Nigeria in Daura, is different from Daura, is different from Nigeria in Abakaliki.
Yes, of course. I like to use, as I've often said before, China as an example. The way they were able to double their GDP with every decade, you know, and repeat that miracle over 3 decades or 4 decades. The basic root is competition. There has to be competition between states, local government. They have to do things their own. They have to fail sometimes, but they are responsible for their failure. They have to also succeed, and that's the way we all can get to. They have to be expert at their own field, and that's the way together as a nation can be true federalism. Because this military system, like Sir George said, it doesn't really lead to anything like this. It's similar to pegging the naira at a particular fixed exchange rate instead of allowing it to float. Yeah, it's just
my last duty today is to thank all of you, BD, especially because you have been at the hot seat today to tell us what has been happening in Lagos. And I want to appreciate all of you for the high level of analysis you have given the situations in Nigeria. Of course, we'll be back on Friday to talk about international affairs, but Nigeria is part of the international community. So we'll be talking about Nigeria. We understand that President Buhari flew away from Lagos to Senegal today on an international assignment. So we'll be giving you all coverages, and until Friday, when we bring the international news and analysis, I want to thank you all from Moscow, from Toronto, London, Lagos, and Milan. God bless you all.
Thank you, sir.